Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews with another Team Night map collection. This is number 7, the first double map collection that I'm looking at. It is Japan plus Italy, just says down here in the bottom. So let's quickly get it to the table and see how it is set up and played, both of them. Alright, let's start on the Japan map. That's the big one, that's the cellar. So, it's over here, the rule books as well. And then let's of course bring it out here. This is a big map. Anyways, and going down here. And have I already... No, I'm just... it's a humongous map. It is a really big map. Okay, here we go. That is Japan in the clear here. I'm gonna move this one over here so that I have this room for all the player tools. Jesus, I forgot how big this map was. Can I put it sideways on my table maybe? No, I can't. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do this. Okay, what you also have is these lovely bubbly bullet trains, really nice pieces here. They'll be placed somewhere close to the players. In this instance, the players are going to be down here. Of course, you're adding in trains from Team Night Europe in this case. Point markers down on 0 or 100. Just gonna pick up the yellow one there. Alright, set of rules, follow along. Okay, and just make sure that I don't grab all of a sudden wrong ones anyways. You have tickets here, 5 to each player. They have to keep 3. You place them somewhere so you can see them, and of course you have train cards. These are again just from Team Night Europe, set up with 2 for each player, and then 5 flipped over. That was one too many. When that happens, just put it at the bottom of the pile. And there we go. There is one more element though. We have these flat discs. These are bullet train markers, so you'll place that over here. I'll get to what that is and how you use the bullet train in just 2 seconds, my friend. Anyways, all of the game is played again exactly the same way. You can draw up 2 cards. In this instance, you have some locomotives. If you choose to take one of those, you can only take 1, otherwise take 2 no matter what. You can draw up new tickets from over here. You will get a handful of 4, and you have to keep at least 1 of them. And you can of course claim a route down here by playing the amount of cards in the amount of colors. So for example, 2 yellows for here. On gray strips like this, the bullet train ones, you just need here 4 of the same color. Or 2 of the same color, which is easier from the start to just show you. Let's say I'm gonna claim it with blue. You'll place a bullet train marker on it. Bam. And you have now claimed 1 route. Let's say it was yellow, because I took his card. And yellow will move up 1 on this bullet train marker, and of course receive 1 point for placing down a singular train. Oh, does he? Oh my god, I just forgot. Does that count towards points still? No, they do not. Sorry. I completely forgot. They do not score, they get progression on this one. It's only if they claim one of these routes that they score. Alright. Throw this one in a throw-out pile there. Yes. And of course you have, on this one, you have a very interesting thing in the sense of these fields right here. Just make sure you see the symbol properly here. That symbol right there mixes up with that symbol right there. So let's take this edge here for example. So this is, I need to go to the other side to read it. Kokura. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Let's say you have to go from Masuda here to Miyazaki. So you have to go from Masuda into Kokura, which starts here, and then you can go down like this. And you have at Miyazaki. And you have gotten from Masuda to Miyazaki. That's how you do that part. To get in the cities, you also have Tokyo over here. Let me just zoom out again so you can also see that. You have Tokyo over here. And the entrance to Tokyo is, where the hell is that? Is right here. So we get into it. As far as I remember, this is the city and this is the island. You know, this is the city of Tokyo moving around that one, and this is the island of Kyushu. Sorry to everyone. Anyways, in terms of the bullet trains over here, marker. We're skipping towards the end of the game now. You will receive some points for having placed down your mob. So let's say it's someone along the line with that. That's not very accurate. But that would mean that yellow, because it's a 2-player game, would get +10. It's set over here. And red would actually get -10. If it was 3 players, number 1 would get +15 and +5 to number 2 and -10. If it was 4 players, it would be +10, 20, +10, 0, -10. And if it was 5 players, it would be +25, +15, +5, -5, -10. Very interesting way of scoring. The bullet train route does count towards everything. So let's say red needs to go from Osaka to Suruga. He can go like that, just needs to place right there. And yellow has somewhat helped him there, but yellow can still go from Takamatsu to Kyoto if that's what he needs to do. It counts towards both of them. That is Japan, very simply summed up. Let me just real quick remove the things that are significant for Japan and get out the Italy map. Alright, here we have Italy. The setup is basically identical to Japan. With the 2 cards down here, this guy can get the blue back just to symbolize it. The colors, these ones set up. We have tickets, of course. Again, 5 tickets to each. You have to keep 3 of them. You can get 4 more and keep 1 of them at least. Where was I? Right. Breathe. Right. So Italy is a very straightforward map. You just go across Italy just like any other map in this one. You have some countries up here. Of course, any route into the countries, the blue, the red one counts. Over here it's the black, blue and red there, blue or white. Into Monaco you have this one and this one. So any of those counts towards it. The only addition is these ones. So on your turn you can decide to draw one of these and a train, and a tick train. Of course, if you draw a locomotive, that's it. Or you can choose to draw 2 of these, but you can maximum have 2 of these with fairy cards or whatever you can call them. And let's have a look at one of those real quick. As you can see, they have 2 of these symbols on it, so they count for 2 of these symbols each card. So that would say, for example, this route right here needs 2 symbols. So you could play this one alongside 2 of identical color. Do we have that on here? No, the starting hand is terrible for that. Anyways, draw 2 of the same color. It's understandable, and you can claim this route then, going from Roma to Cagliari. That's how those fairy cards work. There is an extra scoring point, which is symbolized in the bottom right corner, as you can see here. I'll just make sure you can actually see it. There we go. So what that is provinces. Yeah, provinces I think is the correct word for it. But for example, on this part of the map, this green section has, well, the color is not the important thing. Hold on. Oh. It's not the important thing, it's actually the symbol of the cities you're going in the circles. They have a certain symbol. And by touching one of these symbols, for example, this one touches this symbol and this symbol, so that's 2 provinces you're hitting, which would be what? Sicilia and Puglia? No, not Puglia. It would be Sicilia and which province is this? That's not overly important anyway. Calabria maybe, who knows. That's not the important thing. Anyways, you would be touching 2. As you can see down here, you would then score points. You need at a minimum of 5, but it would count for every route. So if you had a route that went here, 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 that's 5, that's 1 point. And then if you had the route that went here, 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 that's another 5, that's only 1 point. It would be better to connect them, to get 10 connected, which would be 16. Going up towards 15 plus to get 56 extra points. That's an interesting addition to scoring in this game. But that's also about all it adds, the fairy cards and that new way of scoring. Otherwise it's, again, placing down 2 would give you 2 points, completed routes points, and the one with the most amount of points is the winner. And that's of course the same for Japan. It's simple things. Let's head back to the table and talk about what I think of with this double map. And we're back from the setup. Let's talk about the gameplay. Last time I got distracted by my fiance, but she is home now. She's not going to interrupt me. So let's talk about the gameplay of these two. Again, let's just take it right. Let's talk about the changes to it. Japan, major change to it is of course the lightning train, the bullet train in the middle of the map going across. And then of course going into the smaller maps, going through the city and the island there. Don't ask me to, I mean it's Tokyo City, don't ask me to pronounce the island's name, please. Those two departures from the map where you have to think about getting to that one and going through on the map, that's very interesting and adds a different perspective. That I think that's the wrong word to use, but gives a little bit more to it, you know. It's just different enough to be interesting. And then you have the bullet train. When I first heard about this game after I saw some reviews of it, and people said it was very interesting, it's one of the best maps, Japan is one of the best maps made for Ticket to Ride, because of that bullet train, and it's really good. I don't like it. Let me just be completely fucking clear there. I do not like that bullet train, because it prolongs the game by an insane amount. And it's just, you know, sometimes you just need to place 1 to get a route because you have that bullet train, and you're advancing because that gives you a lot of points. So I really did not like the bullet train addition to this game. It wasn't very good. It really wasn't. I mean, it's very interesting having a go across. You are sharing but it's not interesting. If you get 1 or 2 routes that are in the cities or on that other island, at least if it's in Tokyo, you're 1 or 2 and that goes into Tokyo, you're already behind because the bullet train leads to everywhere else. So someone else might have the advantage over you because of that bullet train. It's just too overpowered to have the bullet train, and it prolongs the game by an insane margin. So I really didn't like the bullet train. I really think that the bullet train was a complete letdown. Really disliked it. And that interesting thing about the corners of it really does not what's it called, save it. That's what it's called. Italy. I think Italy is fairly interesting. It has the ferry cards, it's interesting. You always just use your locomotive for the ferries. This one has straight up ferry cards. That's I think that's interesting. You know, instead the locomotive, you need this one. Pretty interesting. I like that they go both give 2. You can only have 2 in hands. Some interesting rules for that one, of course. An interesting scoring, going through municipalities or whatever it is that they're called. I think that's an interesting way of scoring. Having to go through multiple of those. So a long route is now going to not only give you points for the routes, for the individual routes and the main route card, but also for the main municipalities of the areas you're going through. So I think that's a very interesting addition. But it doesn't save this collection. Let's talk about that later on. First of all, components. This one just adds the bullet trains, which are honestly really nice looking. They're a little bit more nice looking than the regular trains. They're really awesome to look at. They're doubled plastics, double molded, I think it's called, from Lego. I think that's what it's called. Double molded, and they look really nice. The small discs, they're going to do extra wooden pieces, very nice, and the cards are the same good old card quality that we expect from Ticket to Ride. And the main maps is the quality we expect. So it really is, those bullet trains is the good thing I can mention about Japan. So, where are we at? Does it lie to you? Let's look at this one. It's on this yet, but 2 to 5 players, 8 and up, 30 to 60 minutes. Italy is good, 2 to 5 players, 10 and up is what I say for ticket rides, and 30 to 60 minutes, just about, yes. Japan, well, the rules are the same. The game ends once there are only 3 trains left. I think I've forgotten to mention that in the last couple hundred episodes of Ticket Ride, anyways. And with the bullet train edition, you might have to set out 120 minutes for this game. Because that bullet train is just prolongs the game, because you're not going to end the game. Because the bullet trains aren't going to end it. Well, there are, I think, 2 bullet trains left or something. But you seriously, it's a massive expansion. If you kind of agree around the table, you're not going to spend those last couple ones. Well, there's 4 left, we're just going to leave them. That will often happen. That will happen if you're just agreeing. Or you can be the con and finish it early, like I usually do. As soon as I see an opportunity to end the game, I'm going to end it, because I want to give people the experience to judge it for themselves, but I do not like it. And it just prolongs the game. Like, you want to get as many points as possible, and if you're like 5 trains away from getting some more points, you might as well just grab one route card. You can get a lot of routes in this one. So it's a lot of risk and reward in this game, really is. Yeah, 8 and up, 10 and up again for the same. And of course 2 to 5 players. I would play this 2 or 3 only. It is a very low range, 4 maybe. But I wouldn't play this. I wouldn't play it 4 or 5. 2 or 3 is probably where I would put it, because of the bullet train. Because it's a lot easier to manage when you're 2 or 3. Obviously with your 5 that's constantly going around. The point scoring for it is at least interesting, but I really do dislike it, Japan. So, what is my final score? I've pondered this, and I've always say that base ticket ride is 8 out of 10, so it would probably qualify as 8 out of 10. I'm honestly going to give this a 7. I dislike that Japan map. I was so hyped up. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. I do not like it at all. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The lowest rating for Ticket Ride that you are going to see. Because Ticket Ride, Japan, is not a good map. Italy is a perfectly fine map. It's an adequate map. It's an 8 out of 10 map. But Japan is a freaking 4 out of 10 map. And we lower it down to 7. It would probably be less if you took 4 and 8 and divided by 2. That's 6, I think. Yeah, 4 plus 8, that's 12. So divided by 2, that's 6. I'm gonna give it a 7, because it is Ticket Ride. So the average is 6, but I'm gonna give it a 7 because it's Ticket Ride. And I'm still going to keep it, because I do want the entire collection of Ticket Ride, and this one is a part of the collection. It will just sit at the bottom of my shelf and probably not be played that much, unless we're going to want to play Italy. It's not a good map. Honestly, if you just want some of the best maps Ticket Ride have to offer, don't get Japan. Yeah, it's not good. Get some of the other ones. Get Heart of Africa. Get Pennsylvania, UK. Those are some really good maps. But anyways, that's another review done from me. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed my very controversial opinion on Japan. A lot of people rating this hardly, but I don't. And well, until next time. Bye.